In today's episode of Bill and Frank's Guilt-Free Pleasures, we discuss a song whose music video is one of the most dangerous music videos ever made.
We talk about the arithmetic of love.
And we talk about a song that bizarrely brings us memories of the Muppets.
This is our discussion on Nothing's Gonna Change My Love for You by Glenn Medeiros.
Over the last few months, I don't know if you've noticed, Frank, but I have tried to work out what our podcast is actually about.
Yeah, I thought that was something most people do before they actually release 200 episodes.
But we're not those types of people.
No.
No. We put our heart out first. Our brain's way behind.
Exactly. Our podcast is like jazz in the sense that we make it up as we go along.
But we stick to something. Like we're in the pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The jazz pocket.
The jazz pocket.
Yeah.
So while I was searching our pockets of our podcast, I started to think that maybe we could describe it as the sort of meeting place of nostalgia and music.
Okay.
Actually, no, I just made that up right now.
Okay.
I had a better idea and then I went blank because I thought the pocket thing sounded so clever. Okay. Anyways, we'll get back to whatever this show is about.
Yeah.
But for today's episode, I was sitting in the staff room at work during lunchtime, and I had my three friends around me, Shanta, Kim, and Tara. And I said,
Okay, wait. I'm not one of your three friends?
Well, I have friends at work. I have friends at the podcast, okay?
I'm the only one on the podcast with you.
That's true. And you're my friend here.
Only here, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, out there, I'll still acknowledge you.
All right.
I'll give you the head nod and stuff. But anyways.
But just don't talk to you.
Yeah. Don't talk to me while I'm talking to Shanta, Tara, and Kim, okay?
Okay.
All right. So I sat there anyways at the staff room, and I took out my phone, and I said, hey, listen to this. And then I start playing today's song. And they're just sitting there looking kind of confused. Two of them are confused. And then Shanta just moving her head. And she's already singing along to the lyrics. And then it starts to pick up around the room. Kim is singing along. Tara's singing along. They're still not quite sure what the song is. But then the chorus hits. And then everybody in the staff room is saying, nothing's gonna change my love for you. I love you.
Yes.
Yeah. And then I knew we were at that intersection point of great music and nostalgia. And all the memories were flooding back for everybody in the room. And everyone looked out to the side, wistfully, bittersweetly, and I knew we'd picked the perfect song today.
Nothing's gonna change my love for you. You wanna know by now how much I love you. One thing you can be sure of, I'll never ask for more than your love. Nothing's gonna change my love for you. You wanna know by now how much I love you. The world may change my whole life too, but nothing's gonna change my love for you.
This song I'm super pumped about doing because we have talked about covering Glenn Medeiros' Nothing's Gonna Change My Love for You for years.
Basically, since our first episode, we sat around talking about other songs, and this was one of them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think maybe we hesitated about doing it just because there are songs that we do for the public, but there's also songs that we do specifically just for ourselves. You always reference how poorly the Toad the Wet Sprocket episode does.
Yeah, but you feel so good about
I
it.
feel so good. That was, oh man, that episode brought me so much joy. And I think this is one of those songs that we were hesitant about because it meant a lot to us, but we don't know about the broader public.
And I also thought we were actually going to interview Glenn Medeiros because within 200 episodes, we'd be so big that everyone would be wanting to talk to us.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm pumped that we're doing this episode. And you know what? We're allowed to do things for ourselves.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how many listens we get to or if the public or our audience actually likes it. This is for us.
Everyone loves this song, Frank. Everyone. This is going to be one of the biggest episodes we've ever done.
Also, I'm super concerned that if people don't like the episodes that we do, so this is for the public too. So
That's right. Let's talk the history of Glenn Medeiros.
Yes, Glenn Medeiros, super young when he came to this song. He was born in Hawaii. Little known fact, he's not actually Ralph Macchio.
He does have similar looks to him.
Also, full disclosure to everyone, whenever I saw the video for this, I thought it was Ralph Macchio.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's this scene in Karate Kid 2 where Ralph Macchio's running around on the beach with Kamiko, and Glory of Love is playing.
Right.
And the video for this is Glenn Medeiros with a woman frolicking on the beach. So for some reason, Karate Kid 2 in 86, this song in 87, there's this giant confluence of pop culture that comes into my head. And for some reason, beaches and people frolicking around is the same as Karate Kid to me.
Okay, that's fair enough. As you know, somehow I got Billy Joel's Longest Time and the crucifixion scene in Jesus of Nazareth mixed together.
Yeah.
And it really wrecked
Billy Joel for you.
It really did. And also made, church weird because I kept hearing The Longest Time in my head when we do communion. So things to work out, some deep issues. Your issues are surface. You're fine.
Yeah, I hope so.
Oh, you got issues though. Don't worry. There's other ones.
Thank you. Okay. I'm glad that you've acknowledged that.
So he was raised on the Isle of Kauai. I took a lot of pains to get the pronunciation right.
Okay.
Because I watched a PBS interview with him. And apparently Hawaii is pronounced Hawaii.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's like Barcelona and Barcelona.
Yeah. So I don't want to be that guy who's trying to over-pronunciate stuff.
Yeah.
If that's the word. Or enunciate? Enunciate. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Glenn Medeiros wouldn't be too upset for mispronunciation.
I think we'll just Canadianize it. Okay, yeah. Kauai, he's on that island that he loves so much, which is why we see it in the video.
Yeah.
Anyways, he wins this radio contest.
Yes, at 16 years old.
Yeah, and the name of the radio contest I have written here, it's called Brown Bags to Stardom.
Okay.
Well, you know what? Small areas have names that are very odd.
Yeah, some sort of regional competition.
So maybe they brought their lunches and just did their thing.
But they were all alcoholics drinking from a brown bag.
That's true. I don't know if Kauai does that. Now I just used a V. That's definitely not how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, he chose this song as the song he was performing because he was a big George Benson fan.
Yeah.
As a 14 or 15-year-old? He's already a Benson fan?
See, this is why this song resonates with us so much, because at 14 or 15, we would have been fans of George Benson if he was releasing songs in around that time.
Right, exactly. So it does really well. He wins the contest.
Yeah.
Previous year, apparently he came second or something. I might have done too much of a deep dive here, Frank. I'm going to stop myself.
That's good information to have, though.
Yeah. He not only wins, but it starts getting played on the Hawaiian radio, I think.
Yeah.
And then it gets picked up in other places, and then he ends up getting signed. So I'm curious if they re-recorded it in a bigger studio. I couldn't find an early version of this.
Yeah.
But it ends up doing well all over America.
Yeah.
This is why it never really goes to number one in America, because it's doing really well in certain regions, and then it drops down, right? We've talked about this with another song. Was it?
Yeah, I think it was like the Sheriff episode where it was popular in pockets, but it never sort of saturated the market.
Right.
The song still did really well, though.
Yeah, it did great. It did great. And it did even better when it got re-released in Europe, where it went to number one and all over the place.
Yeah.
4 weeks, UK number one in Canada as well. So it did really well in something like 12 to 15 countries, like number one.
Yeah.
And then his career continues. I watched a whole bunch of music videos that he did from this one until the She Ain't Worth It period.
Yeah.
And the She Ain't Worth It period was the record company's demand that he take a more hip hop tone so he could sell.
Yeah. And it seems to me that the label really tried to push him into something he wasn't necessarily comfortable with, because he did that duet with Bobby Brown. He also did a duet with Ray Parker Jr.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he did a song on the Karate Kid 3 soundtrack with the Jets.
Yes. So, I mean, he's a mover and shaker. He's not just a one-hit wonder. And of course, She Ain't Worth It, which we will do at some point, I think. That'll be one for us, at least. That went to number one for 2 weeks in America. Didn't do that great in Europe.
No.
But he wasn't proud of it. We can get to that in the future. But his career is going to kind of come to an end in the mid-90s. And he's going to decide to go back to school to pursue his actual dream, which was to become a school teacher, which is crazy to me. as a school teacher. My dream is to be Glenn Medeiros.
That would be my dream too.
Right. And you know what? I think we're getting close to it with this podcast.
Yeah.
Once we define it.
Exactly. We just need to cover a George Benson song and go to a local radio station contest and win it. And then our singing careers are just going to take off from there.
This really sounds like the plot to the Muppet movie.
You're not incorrect. Wait, was Glenn Medeiros a Muppet?
He certainly seems like he could be Muppet adjacent with Mana Mana Na Ana, I
Yes.
love you, which we will get to.
There's so many things that we researched and conclusions we came to that were the same here.
Right. And then the most embarrassing one has to do with George Benson.
Yes.
Now, we were young.
I
To be fair, we were young. Okay, so I never watched the Benson show because I think it was either on after my bedtime or whatever.
Yeah.
But either way, somehow, you thought Ralph Macchio sang this song.
Yeah.
I thought Billy Joel was singing in Jesus of Nazareth.
Yeah.
And we also thought that Benson starred George Benson.
George Benson, yes.
And then when I found out it wasn't, which wasn't that long ago, I then assumed it was Ben Vereen just because his name was Ben. I never assumed that there was someone who played a character named Benson. I just always assumed it was an actual person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Right?
Exactly. He was the Fresh Prince.
Right. Okay. Well, at least we got that out of the way.
Yeah. I can appreciate that you are bringing that to the table. It is a little bit embarrassing for both you and I.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, more so you because you vocalized it. I'm
Yeah.
just sort of agreeing, saying like, oh, yeah, I did the same thing. But you actually said the words.
I did. And you were just sitting there almost smugly, like you got away with something.
I think maybe I did.
Okay. That's fair enough. So Benson, George, not the show,
Yes.
released this song in 84, 85.
I think it was
Somewhere around there.
85,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
And the album was 2020. And this song was written for him as well as another song. So let me actually get to the name of the songwriters. So this makes more sense what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
The songwriters were, do you have them there, Frank? Jerry Goffin and Michael
Michael
Masser.
Masser, yes.
Right. Now, they wrote not only this song for him, but they also wrote The Greatest Love of All, which George Benson sang as well.
Yeah.
So they have two songs they wrote for him, who they then gave out to two different artists. I mean, Glenn Medeiros took this one, but Whitney Houston was given
Yes.
Greatest Love of All. Now, our songwriters here, we'll get back to Benson soon, but Jerry Goffin wrote a whole bunch of great songs with Carole King in the 60s.
Oh, okay.
You know, like
yeah.
Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow? The
Oh,
Locomotion.
yeah.
He's the
Okay.
co-writer.
Yeah, yeah.
And then Michael Masser, he's written a lot of great things, including songs for Whitney Houston. There's certain artists he just writes a lot for.
Yeah.
He had a song called All at Once he wrote with Jeffrey Osborne that Whitney Houston sang. But with Jerry Goffin, he wrote a whole bunch of songs. They actually wrote a song for Glenn Medeiros in his next album and following, I think.
Yeah.
But they also wrote Tonight I Celebrate My Love for You.
Oh, nice.
They also wrote Miss You Like Crazy.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
please.
So they've done a lot of guilt-free pleasures.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to Benson, the man, not the show.
Okay.
I was amazed at his music. We've talked about him before in the Harry Styles episode
Yes.
with Just Give Me the Night. Holy cow.
Yeah.
What a song.
Yep.
So I was working through his stuff and he's got that jazz feel and he just controls his voice and the music so well. And I think this got in the way of the song because he wasn't totally giving his all in the same way Glenn Medeiros does, I feel. I feel Glenn Medeiros sings it like he means it deep, deep, deep down in his heart. And I think George Benson might be too great of a performer. That is just another song for him because
Yeah.
he's had these others. But this is Glenn Medeiros shooting his shot.
Well, this is his time to shine.
Yeah,
And it's a great song.
it is.
It is so good.
So this is done by industry veterans who know what they're doing.
Yes.
The George Benson song did not really go anywhere because it just got lost in the radio. Glenn Medeiros feels that people didn't play him because they figured he was a jazz guy. And Glenn Medeiros, unlike Bill Hauser, believes this is really still George Benson's song and he did a better job at it.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you disagree with Glenn Medeiros?
I do.
Take. Yeah.
Sorry, Glenn, you're wrong. Yours is the best.
You're pretty fantastic, Glenn.
I think we'll get to this when we get into analysis, but one of the reasons I believe the Glenn Medeiros version works so well is because of his enunciation. And I was trying to look up pronunciation versus enunciation.
Yeah.
So pronunciation is how I messed up Hawaii or got it right or wrong.
Yes.
But enunciation is the sound of it. And he enunciates words like a true pop star does, so we don't know what he's saying.
Exactly. That second line in the chorus where it might as well be gibberish to me.
Right. So I'm just going to play right now George Benson singing that line
Okay.
and Glenn Medeiros.
Okay.
Nothing's gonna change my love for you. You ought to know by now how much I love you. One thing you can be sure of, I'll never ask for more than your love. Nothing's gonna change my love for you. You ought to know by now how much I love you. One thing you can be sure of.
And so now we know that it's you ought to know by now how much I love you. But does that take away from the song? Because I feel it just means a lot more when it's you know na 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 how much I love you.
I think that when we didn't know the lyrics, it was open to our interpretation, but I do like that lyric. It's just has the most syllables in it. Like there's just
Yeah.
so many words there.
Yeah. It runs together really nicely.
Yeah.
But whatever Glenn Medeiros came up with, and I think it was just in the studio, because when you see him sing it live, you can actually understand the words.
Oh, okay.
But it was a magical moment.
So are we ready to start talking about the song, I think?
I think so. I think it's time to hear those opening 15 seconds.
And what I have written down here is classic sax.
Oh, yes. I have written down soap opera montage scene.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Or if you were to put some crashing waves with it, you could pick it up at your local pharmacy and play it while you're going to
Yes.
sleep.
Oh, yeah, this
Yeah.
is nighttime music.
Yeah. There it is. And that leads perfectly to our verse 1, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we got the sax, we got the crashing waves that I hear in my head but aren't there.
Yeah,
But here we go.
they're definitely there.
The
Like,
crashing
that's-
waves?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why they're in the video.
That's
because that's all anyone can think about.
Yeah. This does remind me of Kool and the Gang's Cherish
Yes.
a bit. Maybe they're just up the beach.
Yeah, or Karate Kid 2,
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
because of all the fighting that goes on in the song.
Right. Karate Kid 3 is so bad. We don't want to talk about it.
No.
Okay. Verse 1. All right, let's get back on track here. Verse 1. If I had to live my life without you near me, the days would all be empty, the nights would seem so long. With you, I see forever, oh so clearly. I might have been in love before, but I never felt this strong.
If I had to live my life without you near me, the days would all be empty. The nights would seem so long. With you I see forever, oh so clearly. I might have been in love before, but I never felt this strong.
I love how, even listening to it today, understanding that Glenn Medeiros was 16, 17, maybe 18 when this was recorded.
Yeah.
And even now, he seems way more mature than me.
He's got a voice that has a kind of depth to it. I mean,
Yes.
it kind of goes not bassy, but baritone-y, even
Yeah.
though he's more tenory. We got the music lingo down now.
We are so good
Yeah.
at music lingo.
Yeah. And so it feels like he must know a lot because he can sing
Yeah.
so deep and then can rise up as well.
So there's a maturity with his voice, and with maturity comes confidence. So
Yeah.
he's singing this so confidently as a teenager.
Right. As a 16-year-old
Yeah.
when he's saying this. Yeah.
And I'm trying to reconcile this. This is why I can't sing this properly, because I don't have that type of confidence.
And try to imagine yourself as a 16-year-old trying to sing, I might have been in love before, but never felt this strong.
Yeah, there's no way at 16 I could sing that with any type of confidence or conviction. And that's the thing about the song, is you believe the words that he's singing.
Right. And this reminds me of the Jets song that we did, You Got It All, over him.
Mm-hmm.
And the singer was saying for that, she pictured her dog because that
Yes.
was who she could sing to, right?
Yeah, because she was 12 at the time.
That's right. So she's even younger.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy, actually. Good thing he's not 12, because that would be a different song altogether.
Absolutely.
Okay.
The video would be even creepier.
Yeah. I mean, the girl's already at least 7 or 8 years older than
Yeah.
the video.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Pre-chorus. Our dreams are young, and we both know They'll take us where we want to go. And here we go. Now
Yeah.
it's going to go. Hold me now. Touch me now. I don't want to live without you.
You struggled so hard not to sing that.
Oh my goodness.
You have to sing that. Hold me now, touch me now. I don't want to live without you. Boom.
And that was what was happening in the staff room where they were all
Seriously.
singing, hold me now. But I wanted to say, oh no, it's not touch me now. It's touch me now.
Yes.
It was like, is it touch? Because when I was younger, I'm like, I don't know what he said, but I feel it. Hold me now, touch me now.
Our dreams are young and we both know they'll take us where we want to go. Hold me now, touch me now. I don't want to live without you.
Oh man, we've said this before. There are certain songs that are goosebump songs, and that's a goosebump moment in this song. From that line on, the whole song is just straight emotion for me.
Well, this is a moment you go full Jeffrey Osborne.
Yeah.
You're now on the wings of love.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah, what more could you say? I mean, I guess there is more I can say because that's what our podcast is about. our dreams are young, right? And we both know they'll take us where we want to go, right?
We didn't even talk about any of the lyrics.
We haven't done it all. I'm going to come back to it. I can't believe we didn't. Because they're so well written that they're in the world of almost cliche, but they work really well. They're
Yes.
well-trodden lyrics, but the reason they're well-trodden is because this highway takes you there.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. Hold me now, touch me now. I don't want to live without you. With the music going on in the background, it just takes you. It demands you go to the chorus. It says, don't analyze, get going.
Yeah, just get to the chorus.
Okay, well, we should just get to the
Yeah.
chorus.
There's some analysis I will do in the chorus because I really like it
Okay, good.
and I have thoughts.
Okay. Subtitle of our podcast.
Yes.
Okay. Nothing's going to change my love for you. You ought to know by now how much I love you.
Okay, can we stop there? Because my lyrics have mana, 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 how much I love you.
Yeah, but those are your handwritten lyrics.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. All right. We can acknowledge that some will have written that as lyrics, and maybe you did too. You ought to know by now how much I love you. One thing you can be sure of, I'll never ask for more than your love. And then he repeats it.
Yes, he repeats that the first two lines, but then after you ought to know by now how much I love you, the world may change my whole life through, but nothing's going to change my love for you.
Nothing's gonna change my love for you. You wanna know by now how much I love you. One thing you can be sure of, I'll never ask for more than your love. Nothing's gonna change my love for you. You wanna know by now how much I love you. The world may change my whole life, but nothing's gonna change my love for you.
What I love about the chorus is, and I think we can both agree, this is 100% a wedding song,
Oh, yes.
but it's a song of affirmation. I can just picture it. This is Glenn Medeiros or George Benson singing to his best girl,
Yeah.
but she's having doubts because maybe she doesn't believe that she is good enough for him.
Right.
Maybe she deals with self-esteem issues or something like that. I'm no good. Why do you even bother with me? Those kinds of thoughts are in her head. But I love this because it's nothing's going to change my love for you. It doesn't matter. I love you so much for who you are.
Right.
And I see you for who you actually are.
Yeah.
Which I love that sentiment. Even with our flaws, the singer loves.
Unconditionally. Yes. Yeah, you got it. That's really good. Man, I have nothing funny to say about that. It's really profound.
Yeah.
Not that I'm trying to find something funny, but there's moments that are profound. And this is one of those
Yeah.
where it's like, I know I've heard this before, but the way this comes together is the sort of love that you hope is possible.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's building the other person up when they're perhaps hurting or feeling dark or something like that. I was in a relationship once and like they said, I'm no good for you. And I was like, no. I can see the person that you are. You are a good person. And then she cheated on me.
Every time. How do I fall for it? Every time. You set it up so well. I thought you were going to do a Good Will Hunting impression, but oh my goodness.
Turns out she was right.
It's impossible to make jokes about this because one, I don't know if it's true. I don't know if you're joking about it. So then if it's true and I make fun, then you're going to be not upset, but I'm going to feel really bad that I'm making jokes about it. One is, and it's so funny, I'm just going to leave it there. I'm just going to leave it there. I'm going to rewind back to before I heard this.
Well, they say that comedy is tragedy plus time, and there's been enough time.
Right. I don't even want to ask you how long it's been because I'm going to feel bad and I'm not going to be able to keep talking about this.
Yes.
So I'm just going to keep moving on here. But what I like, before you threw me off there, is when you talked about how, oh, this person's in the dumps. They're not sure if they're good enough. And I love that the guy's response to her was, hey, you ought to know
Oh, yeah.
by now how much I love you.
But he sings it so softly. It's not like, hey, you should know by now, like that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
It's like, you ought to know by now. Like he sings it in such a way that it isn't forceful.
Right. It's not Alanis Morissette, I ought to know.
Yes. No.
Yeah.
No.
Which went to a darker place.
Much darker.
Yeah. Okay.
Then there's also the line of, one thing you can be sure of, I'll never ask for more than your love. So I love that sentiment of, I don't need anything more. I just need you. I just need your love.
Right.
And maybe not to cheat on me.
Right. And in some ways, if this were to go to court, this is kind of like a prenuptial agreement agreed upon.
Yeah.
When he asked for
I like that you went legal with
Yeah,
this.
exactly. Nothing I says I love you. Like, I promise not to take all your money.
Yes.
There's another line here that I've always misheard. And it's,
Okay.
the world may change my whole life through, but I always thought it was, the world may change my whole life view. And I assumed he
okay.
would become a communist or something else, or
Yeah.
join maybe a
Alt-right party.
yeah, or a religious cult-ish thing to everyone else but him, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know if that goes well for her, though, I guess. But
Probably
he says
not.
this suddenly got more threatening.
Yeah.
Yeah, that took a weird turn there. Maybe it's just better. The world may change my whole life through, but nothing's going to change my love for you.
Yeah.
So no matter what happens, even if he's kind of all changed, that love is a constant.
Yes. And you know all about Constance being a math teacher.
That's right. That has to do with integration and derivatives.
Yeah.
For the integration, you add the constant, which is love. Okay, I thought it was one of those meaningful pauses where we looked at each other, but you're looking at me like,
I can't remember math.
I know. And that's okay. You didn't really need it, except for the math of love, the mathematics.
It's like love times love divided by love equals love to the power of love.
You know, I'm not going to comment on it. That is, I don't want to be a stickler here, but what you just defined algebraically is love. Love times love divided by love is still love.
Equals love to the power of love,
No, I made love to the power of one.
which is love.
Okay, yes, that is true. We can agree on that.
Okay.
Okay, let's get out of this.
Okay.
We've lost most listeners.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. All right, next verse. If the road ahead is not so easy, just like our podcast has suddenly become.
Yes, very difficult.
Our love will lead the way for us like a guiding star. I'll be there for you if you should need me. You don't have to change a thing. I love you just the way you are.
If the road ahead is not so easy, our love will lead a way for us, like the guiding star. I'll be there for you if you should need me. You don't have to change a thing. I love you just the way you are.
Again, I love that sentiment. Just who you are, that's all you need to be is you.
Yeah. And you got the guiding star, right? We've
Yeah.
heard this before in other songs. I think songs we've done. Just the Way You Are does certainly sound familiar. Sounds like a song I know called Just the Way You Are. But it works so well. The road ahead is not so easy. The love will lead the way, right?
Yeah.
And then I also like the line, I'll be there for you if you should need me.
Yeah.
I like the idea that he's not going to be too clingy.
Yes,
He's
exactly.
going to be there if she
Yeah.
needs him.
She can have her own space. She can be her own person.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
allowed.
There we go. We're coming to pre-chorus 2.
Yes.
I'm pretty excited to analyze this too because I finally have something big.
Okay.
All right. So come with me and share the view. I'll help you see forever too. Hold me now.
Touch me now. I don't want to live without you.
So come with me and share the view. I'll help you see forever too. Hold me now, touch me now. I don't want to live without you.
All right, Frank. Now in that pre-chorus, which we sang like Fallen Angels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautifully.
Yeah. He says the following line, I'll help you see forever too, saying, come on, share the view. And that sends you right back to the beginning of the song, first verse, where he says, if she were not around, the nights would seem so long. And then he says, with you, I see forever, oh so clearly.
Yes.
And now he's saying, I see forever because I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'll help you see forever too.
Yes. I love that. Yes.
It's just the right sort of playfulness with language where you're using words that you hear in songs all the time, but just enough of a turn of phrase to make it fun.
Love should be playful.
It should be, but the music video, which we'll get to later, and I found this on a website that was analyzing it, says as opposed to an amusement park or carnival where you'd think this song might show up, it's just them staring out at the water on the beach. So it's fun. But also, what's the word I'm looking for? Wistful? Windy?
Yeah. What other W word are you going to throw at this?
Wuthering? Sorry, Frank.
Wishing well?
Yeah. Kiss and tell.
Yeah. So out of that pre-chorus, obviously we hit into the chorus again.
Yeah.
And he repeats the chorus twice through.
Right. We get some electric guitar going there, too.
Yes. And I said, again, written down, classic electric guitar. And you can picture the guy. You close your eyes, and I think we're all seeing the same guy. He's wearing denim. He has a permed mullet.
Yeah.
And he's a studio musician. He is very, very good at his craft, but he's not famous. But this is the guy.
He knows how to play electric guitar so that your Oma will love this song.
Yes, exactly. He understands the assignment.
Right. So this will get played on Joy 96. Eddie Van Halen's doing his Beat It thing, right?
That's finger tap. Yeah.
Yeah. That's not going to get on Joy 96.
No.
But this will get played on Easy Rocks all across the land.
Yes.
And it still rocks.
It does.
Easily.
It gives that little sense of danger.
Right.
Like in the video when they're standing on that sort of outcrop above the ocean.
I was worried for him.
I have a fear of heights. My hands got sweaty watching that part of the video.
The only thing that scares me more than being up that high is riding bareback on a horse. Don't trust him. I know this is getting into video territory. I went ashen white when I was on a horse in Costa Rica, and they demanded I get off the horse because the horse didn't trust me. You know why? Because I didn't trust that horse.
Well, exactly. It read your vibes.
Yeah. So we got those two repeated choruses there.
Yes.
But then we have suddenly the chorus again. And it's kind of strange because the key change comes before the musical interlude.
Yeah.
Because he goes up and whoa, where are we?
Yeah. A little bit unexpected, but then again, you get that instrumental break or that bridge there.
Right. I guess it's the electric guitar that's winding you up to go up high.
Yeah.
And then you get the musical interlude.
Yeah.
Which, of course, gives us all those instruments that some people hate. I love
the feeling that it gives you. It's a flight feeling.
Yeah.
You are soaring at that point.
This time it's getting colder because they're high up in the air.
Yes, exactly. You need a sweater.
One thing you can be sure of, I'll never ask for more than your love. Nothing's gonna change my love for you. You wanna know by now how much I love you. One thing you can be sure of.
I mean, I don't know what more to say. It works.
Yes. Oh, it works so well.
Yeah. And then they repeat the chorus at least 3 more times. And I have written here, the reason this works is because nothing's going to change his love. And by not changing, they keep repeating again and again.
The reiteration, it just really drives that point home.
There we go. Look at that. That's great analysis.
That is great analysis. We're really good at what we do.
We are. I know we have to say it because we're not really hearing it from from the audience.
No, exactly. I think we need to build each other up. We're each other's Glenn Medeiros.
Right.
So when one of us feels down, the other one is just building the other one up. Bill, all I need is for you to do all the edits of the podcast for me. Nothing's going to change my feelings for you.
Yeah.
As long as you do that.
Right. I'm going full Josh Groban. I'll raise you up.
Oh, yeah.
So I can throw you off that mountain. Okay. All right. We did it. We analyzed the song. I think it's time we talk this video.
We already have talked a good chunk about it, but it's exactly what you expect. Close your eyes if you've never seen the video, and what do you picture? People in white linen on the beach, running, frolicking, playing in the ocean, riding on horses. This is exactly what I would think.
And it is super lame.
Oh, yeah.
It's so bad.
lame.
It's so bad.
It's so amazing. It's so lame.
It looks like it was made for a soap opera.
Yeah.
But also it looks like it was made for like some sort of compilation CD of love songs.
Yes.
And I can't believe they would pass this out to like MTV. They said it was almost certainly made for VH1 music, which I guess back then loved these sort of songs.
Yeah.
Where it's easy listing things.
Yeah.
Man, I mean, he made a big change up when he went with She Ain't Worth It.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you remember back in 94, 95 in Canada when there was much more music when that came out? Because that was all the adult contemporary stuff.
I loved it.
I watched that way more than I watched much music.
Yeah, we were already primed for what we're doing here tonight. It's so funny because he's singing, closing his eyes and feeling it all. And then there's the girlfriend with him who looks a lot older than he is.
Yes.
Like, she's not old. She just looks like she's in her 20s and he's in his mid-teens.
Yeah, he's a teenager.
And there's no chemistry really between them. It feels like really awkward high school grad photos between two people dating, and we know they're not going to make it.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of coming up with that. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just so odd. It looks like they've just met for a photo shoot, which is what happened.
Exactly. It's pretty forced.
Yeah. Even when they're trying to splash each other on the beach, they slow the camera down so much where you know they barely did anything.
Yeah.
It's so bad. And then being on that horse, of course, triggers memories for me.
Yeah.
And Trigger, of course, being the name of the horse of Roy Rogers.
Yes.
And that triggers other memories for me.
A lot of violence in your life.
Yeah. I thought there'd be a shootout.
Yeah.
But no. You're not allowed to say about the video, though. I'd love to go to Kauai.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
It
very
looks
much.
beautiful.
So. Yeah, so would I. Yes.
Yeah.
Except standing on that outcrop above the ocean, because it didn't look structurally stable.
No.
Because the ocean was eroding underneath. It was the mass of the rock that was hanging out without the structural support. Like, I was very concerned about their safety.
You, as a man with a degree in architecture, was probably more afraid than anything.
Oh, yeah. This was a terrifying video for me.
Okay. This took a turn.
Yes.
This took a big turn. Dangerous horses.
Dangerous horses.
Erosion.
Yeah.
My goodness. Nothing's going to change love, but they might not make it through the video.
Exactly.
We never got to talk about this, but I thought I'd give a little more history of Glenn Medeiros.
Okay.
Speaking of not going to survive things, when he moved to LA to sort of make it, he said it was kind of a minefield.
Yes.
And you had to make moral decisions about what you would and would not do out there. He talked about a songwriter who invited him over to his house and showed him all his gold records and then said, and you know where this is going, just a second, I got to go get something.
Yeah.
And then he comes back in a robe and says, hey, I can make you famous. Not like Emilio Estevez says in Young Guns 1 or 2 there, but, and Glenn Medeiros realized what was going on and said, I got to go to a meeting, and ran out of there.
Yeah.
But he talked about how to make it, for a lot of them, you got to make these kind of moral concessions to get through. And then he said something really strange in this interview I listened to. He said that the mafia owns a lot of the music out there.
Oh, okay.
That you're almost kind of working for the mafia.
Oh, really?
If you're with certain record companies. He didn't go into too much detail, but apparently he's writing a book about his experiences.
Oh, okay.
But he said it's tough to make it through.
I also read that he was really concerned about the alcohol and drug abuse that goes along within the music industry for artists.
He said he noticed with Bobby Brown how kind he could be when he was sober.
Yeah.
But it was a totally different guy afterwards. And so I feel like his heart is back in Kauai.
Yes.
Where he wants to be with his family. And he kept to himself. Like, he made good decisions along the way. He never got into too much trouble. Although he says in interviews, hey, I made mistakes. Like, I don't think he
I don't believe it.
I don't buy it one bit.
I think he had a Zima once when he was 17. Do you not remember Zima when it came out? Like it was a alternative to beer.
Oh,
There's
really?
this huge marketing campaign around it in the early 90s.
Oh, okay. He ends up becoming a high school principal, right? In the
Yes.
end, he goes back home. He ends up going to school, gets a history degree.
Yeah, becomes an educator. Right?
Yeah, and ends up doing music education, special education, and then gets his PhD. So he's a doctor.
Yes.
And he's now like a principal or president of a all boys school in Hawaii, I think in the main island, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah. So to fund himself while he was going through school, he sang during the nights. And he said
Oh.
actually he's made more money being a teacher and a singer than when he was doing all this
Oh,
because he
really?
wasn't a songwriter. So you don't make the money,
Oh,
he said.
that's true. Yeah. Yeah.
And record companies generally have you in debt to them.
Yes.
Right? And
yes.
and so he never really saw the money.
Yeah.
So he said you'd see it come in waves, but then it would stop.
Yeah.
So he ended up performing during the nights in, I think it might have been Honolulu, because he had to go there for school. And he performed with different people. And then one of them was a young kid who was an Elvis impersonator who ended up actually having quite a career.
Okay. Who's that?
Bruno Mars.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so he's done very well. Glenn Medeiros is doing great, and you can kind of find interviews with him, and he's living a great life.
Yeah. Cool.
Just like we are.
exactly.
Yeah,
Living our best lives.
exactly. All right, Frank, I got some categories for you.
Okay.
Feel really proud of some of these. Actually, I didn't really come up with too many, but this one is going to be great. It's a bit of a leading question. Why would this work as the music for the love scene in Highlander 1?
Like the very first love scene?
Yeah.
Like when he's still in the Scottish Highlands.
Was there a love scene then?
Yes.
Oh, I just remember the other one.
Oh, yeah. Because it doesn't matter that she's just immortal, he still loves her.
That's right. As I realized, this question got worse because he did have a wife earlier on and
Yeah.
she died.
Yeah, but
Well, I guess he still loves her. He does still love her.
yes.
Okay. And he's moved on, but he still loves her. Okay. I thought that was such a great category. I ruined my own category. All right, Frank. How would this song change these movies if it was the music for the love scenes from these 80s movies?
Okay.
Terminator 1.
The movie would be a lot less dystopian.
Right.
Because Kyle Reese and Sarah Connors I think they'd end up on a beach somewhere. They'd just run away. They get away from the Terminator at that point.
Right. And then that would just be it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no more Judgment Day.
Okay. Top Gun.
Top Gun. They would have edited out the tongue.
Yeah, yeah. Big.
I don't remember the love scene in Big.
Okay. I guess it's really awkward because is he 12?
Yeah, he's 12 or 13.
Or maybe it's better we don't talk about it then. Okay, another category here. Let's say we actually did interview Glenn Medeiros,
Okay.
right? Because that could happen one day.
It could. He's an educator. You're an educator.
Yeah, we could just talk shop.
Exactly.
All right, what kind of questions would you ask him? I'll start, Frank.
Okay.
Can you make me a mega mixtape of Hawaiian artists?
Oh.
Actually, I shouldn't ask it that way because he could just say yes. Like, could you please make me a mixtape?
Yeah,
And then-
create me a mixtape.
Create me. Oh, yeah. I feel like I'm talking to ChatGPT. You got to be really clear with them. All
Yes.
right. There's my first question.
Okay. One that I just thought of. What is it about George Benson that you love so much that made you cover this song?
Oh, that's a good question. That's very good. Okay. My next one would be, when is your book coming out? Because I've been waiting for it. And also, have the mafia come to find you.
Yes.
Which is funny to me until I realized he actually has experienced these things. And now it's no longer as funny as I thought it was.
The next question I would ask is, did you have a negative experience riding that horse, much like my friend Bill did in Costa Rica?
Right, that's right. Okay, my next question would be, how do you plan to deal with the onslaught of artificial intelligence and whether it could be harnessable in education, like using morphine for treatment, but not dispensing heroin to the general public?
Wow. Okay, that's a question.
It is. I feel we might have got away from this song.
I think you did.
All right, let's bring ourselves back then.
Okay.
Okay, Frank.
So, because this is a song that we have been talking about for years, I'm going to bring an old school category back.
Oh, great. Okay.
Could Michael Bolton cover this? And when he sings it, what part of the song would he destroy the universe with?
Oh, that's a great question. Let me go grab my lyrics here. You know what? I think it's going to be at the key change moment. I feel he's going to hold back. He's going to be really careful because he's near that horse. He doesn't want to get kicked in the head, right?
Oh, true, yes.
But what happens is when he hits that key change, I don't know if the universe gets destroyed, but he goes into the quickening.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he's full Christopher Lambert.
Yeah. And so then he becomes kind of the hero we deserve or need.
Yeah.
I'm not sure which one it is. What about you, Frank? When does Michael Bolton destroy the universe or knock down that sandy cliff that you're worried about?
I think he gets really close in the chorus with "Nothing's gonna change my love for you. You ought to know by now how much I love you." I think he gets really close to destroying the universe there, but I also agree the key change.
Yeah, he's going to hold things back, but there's going to be storms swirling around him.
Oh, yeah. This is going to be a very tumultuous, stormy song for him.
For the wedding, is this the wedding dance song? Or would you...
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, this is the song.
Yeah.
Okay. We've talked about trying to do some wedding dance music as a special thing for our podcast this year, but this is a wedding song.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, this is the song you dance to. I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Did your sister love this song?
I feel that she probably did.
My sister adored this. She sang it all the time.
Oh, seriously?
I almost certainly she would lip sync it to like a hairbrush every day.
Yeah.
This was a huge song in our household.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Rachel would have loved this song as well.
All right. So, dedicated to our sisters.
Yes.
Nothing's gonna change my love for you. You wanna know by now how much I love you. You won't change my whole life through, but nothing's gonna change my love for you. Nothing's gonna change my love for you.
I will go back to one of my favorite categories, Bill.
All right. This is great.
What part of this song brings you the most joy? And why is it "You ought to know by now how much I love you"?
It's because it reminds me of the Muppets a bit, and that you can come up with whatever you want there that makes you feel happy. And there's something in pop music, you could change your worldviews. You can have bananas in there or manamas, and it's just,
Yeah.
well, I mean,
It can be whatever you want it to be.
it can.
Yeah.
And it's the saxophone playing in the background that allows me
Yes.
to do all this.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
Oh, I know, right?
Yeah.
I love that part, but I think the lead into the chorus, the "Hold me now, touch me now, I don't want to live without you."
Yeah, it's so powerful.
Oh, that
Wow.
build.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. What a song.
So good.
I'm so glad we're finally doing this.
So am I. I'm really excited.
All right, Frank, mixtape. Here we go. I have a topic here that I wrote down, and I wrote down nothing's ever, as in people being worried that the relationship's not going to work, but these are songs that are supposed to encourage the person.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
So I have here Only One, James Taylor. You are the only one.
okay.
It has Joni Mitchell and Don Henley on backing
Yep.
vocals. You Got It All by the Jets. We talked about
Nice.
before. Hey,
Yep.
don't worry, you got it all. Together Forever, Rick Astley.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Forever, the Beach Boys.
Okay.
Do you remember that? That's Dennis
yeah.
Wilson. Yeah. And then one more, two more. I'll Always Be There, Rock Voisine.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, why didn't I put that on
Yeah,
mine?
there it is. And one bonus, another wedding song. Always, Atlantic Star.
Nice. That's so perfect. This is crazy
Yeah. Okay.
because this is very similar to my theme. It's all very supportive, being there for someone's songs, right?
Right. Okay.
So I start with "Don't Stop Believin'" by Journey.
Yep.
Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you have to do is call.
There's some James Taylor there.
You've got it, friend.
Yes.
So when you said James Taylor, I'm like, oh shoot, he's taking mine, but you didn't.
No.
And then when you said Rick Astley,
Oh, you picked another one.
Never Gonna Give You Up.
Yeah. Never going to run around or desert you.
Exactly.
Nothing's going to change. Yes.
And then I am finishing it off with two more.
Okay.
Anytime You Need a Friend by Mariah Carey.
Oh, there it is. Yep.
Love that song.
Very much in the James Taylor vein. Yes.
And finally, ending it off with "I'll Stand By You" by The Pretenders.
Oh, yeah. That's a song that just endures. Good call. Oof. Good call.
This might be our best ever mixtape.
Wow. It's so seamless.
I know, right?
Yeah. We are pretty incredible.
It's like we talked to each other beforehand.
But
we didn't.
We didn't.
No.
It was actually a bit chaotic getting this started.
It was very much so.
You got a top 10.
Yeah, the song peaked at number 12
Yep.
the week of June 6, 1987. So the top 10, "I Want to Dance with Somebody" by Whitney Houston.
Right.
Number 9, Diamonds by Herb Alpert.
What? What? What?
Yeah.
That I can't believe this.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Number 8, Big Love, Fleetwood Mac.
Wow, I didn't know that charted that high.
Yeah. It made it all the way up to number 5, actually.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Wanted Dead or Alive, Bon Jovi.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Number 6, In Too Deep by Genesis.
Oh, yes.
Number 5 was With or Without You by U2. Number 4, The Lady in Red, Krista Berg.
Well, one can't argue with that.
Yep. 3, Head to Toe by Lisa Lisa and Cult Jam. Number 2, song you referenced on your mixtape, Always by Atlantic Star.
Yes.
And number 1 is You Keep Me Hanging On by Kim Wilde.
Wow. Okay.
There are a couple of songs on there that, yes, I can agree with them charting higher, but yeah, there are a few in there that don't make as much sense to me.
Now, as a bonus, Frank, I have the top 5 from Canada when it was number 1.
Okay, yeah. Let's hear it.
Okay, so in Canada, number 1, Nothing's Gonna Change My Love for You. This is July 20th, 1987.
Okay, yep.
Okay. You Keep Me Hanging On, Kim Wilde. We just talked about that. I Just Died in Your Arms Tonight, Cutting Crew.
Oh, nice.
That was number 3. Number 4, Boom Boom by Paul Lakalis. I can't quite read this here, but I can sing the song for you.
Boom, boom, shakalaka boom, right?
No, that
one?
would be Walk the Dinosaur.
Oh, yes, that's right.
This one's boom, boom, boom. Let's get back to my room.
Oh, yeah.
And then number 5 was I Want to Dance with Somebody, Whitney Houston.
Okay.
All right. I just wanted the boom, boom, which I thought, wow, we're never going to do that song.
No, probably not.
Oh, it was awful.
We'll do Walk the Dinosaur.
We definitely will. Yes. Definitely will. We want to thank you for joining us for our long-awaited episode on Glenn Medeiros' version of Nothing's Gonna Change My Love for You.
And I know at the start of the episode, I stated that this was a song that Bill and I were doing and it was for us. But our fans and our listeners are incredibly important to us. And I think that you ought to know by now how much we love you.
You've been listening to Bill and Frank's Guilt-Free Pleasures.